Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching us from. Of course, this is Dr. 𝗪𝗦𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧, and the channel is Health and Wellness Sport. I am so excited to have this rolling on 3 platforms. We are live on TikTok, we are live on Facebook, and we are live on YouTube. That is just amazing news for me. I am so excited, and I did this because Facebook, they made us smash the 100,000 mark, and this is just awesome. So thank you so much for taking your time to be here. You know how we do it. We break down health conditions in a very simple language that you can easily understand, and you become the doctor. We become the teachers. So thank you so much for taking time to be here. We know it is Monday, Monday blues. You'll be somewhere taking 2 for the road to just clear the hangover, but you decided, you know what? Dr. Lewis is on live and I'm going to join in. Those of you who already know our schedules, they know what we do. Every Monday, we are on this platform, Health and Wellness Sport, for these shows. And every Friday, we are on another platform called Uncle Chile for the Identity Friday. So you can't miss out on those 2 shows if I told you somebody who wants to become serious with what you're doing. Both the consistency, the discipline, and the patience, and also a fixed identity. So thank you so much for coming through, okay? I appreciate you. If you have not subscribed on our platforms, please consider doing that, because only by doing that, you can be able to be part of this generation that is aware of health, and a generation that actually is intentional about their health. One, Facebook, I am 𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧. TikTok, Health and Wellness Sport. YouTube, Health and Wellness Sport. All right, those are the platforms you can actually join. You can also join our Telegram platform, Health and Wellness Sport, a very, very interesting platform. You can also join all other platforms, Instagram and X, as 𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧 And I've started this on a very, very high note. I've seen somebody saying that in Mombasa there was fake cooking oils, and I've told you this multiple times. We are lucky that we are here. All right? All of us, including me, we are so lucky that we are here. And some of these things, we can see them, and we don't react on them with anger. We simply discern them and we keep moving, because we don't use seed oils. We don't use sugar. So if at all there's bad sugar coming in through the coast, do we care? No, we don't. If at all there's bad cooking oil coming in, we don't care. You remember back then, the cooking oil that came in, and the regulatory body said that this cooking oil is bad, it's not fit for consumption. All right? And then we were like, hey, they are working, they are busy. Our regulatory bodies are so awesome. Imagine they are working, they just identified a very bad cooking oil for our safety. It's all because of us. It's not them. They just care about us. Huh? They care about who? Somebody did not come with a khaki bahasha here. A khaki envelope. Things went wrong. Before we even took a breather. So all of us were excited that, hey, this is the news. If you see it on national television or on a platform that is for the national television, hey, please blink twice. We will come after you. We will come and help you. Just blink twice. All right? When you see it on mainstream media, please blink twice. We will come. I'm telling you the truth. Because these people are not interested in anything healthy. They are interested in numbers. So the more you comment on that post of theirs on Facebook, oh, these guys are so happy. So they will trigger anything. That's why doing media interviews is a crazy thing. You go for a media interview, you realize that they've actually structured their questions in an agenda that suits them. All right? So anytime you answer these questions, for example, if I say seed oils are dangerous, tomorrow they will not say that. They will put a heading in the newspapers and say, Dr. Lewis mentioned, or not, they say this, salads are dangerous for health. Or they even mention a company. Company X produces salads that are dangerous for health. And then now I have to struggle here with court cases from those companies. Hey, I'm like, hey, no way. No. But we see, the moment they say that, they say, Dr. Lewis says, or they publish this false research because they are seeing the masses moving towards the healthy saturated fats. And what they do, they publish something about seed oils, and then they say, as Dr. Lewis says. I'm like, Dr. Lewis, why did I say that? You people don't even know. I've received a lot of emails and a lot of requests to go and do media interviews. So just that you know. Because most of you are telling me, Doc, you need to do this media interview so that people know you and all that. I'm already known without a media interview. All right? So my question is, when I go for these media interviews, tell me one mainstream media house that advocates for what we talk about. Tell me one. Believe me, if I was talking something to do with seed oils and advocating for seed oils, I will be 100,000 people on YouTube. A long time ago. I've done this for 3 years. We are stuck at 30 something thousand. What do you think that's the reason? Some of you don't even access my lives. Some of you, I post a video, you don't see it. And that's why I always share it on all my platforms. And even with doing that, they will still find a way of just blocking it from getting to many people. So what makes you think that mainstream television or media is going to be interested in actually what I say? They don't. They don't. They think I have numbers, so they just want those numbers, all right, for their own benefit. So I'm like, why are all these guys who do health content? Why are they so quick to go to the media houses to just do these interviews there? I'm like, no problem. If it interests you and you want to go there, that's your own problem. That's up to you. You can do that. If it's also for your numbers and all that, you can do that. But I can assure you, mainstream media is not going to boost your numbers in any way possible. They are going to destroy you, and you will stand alone one day. And you'll look back. Look at what comedians do. The first comedy show they do, very successful in quotes. And now there is, the first joke they do, very successful. And they are all over on the media doing this. The reason why they are doing that is because they want more shows. But how can you do all these shows with one? How can you do all these shows with one joke? You just made one joke. And they lied to you that they are going to make you famous. They lied to you that they are going to give you a platform. We don't need a platform. We need the truth. With or without a platform, we advocate for the truth. On that note, thank you so much, Nairobi, for being faithful. Thank you so much for coming through, referring people to us. It's a pleasure to always serve people coming from those families to change their lives for the better. Thank you, Nairobi. And thank you, the entire world, for the online consultations that we do, for the physical consultations that we do. It's amazing. I appreciate all of you for trusting us with your health, all right? We never take that for granted. And you know, if you've dealt with us either in a weight loss program, or on a physical consultation, or on an online consultation, you know that 1 hour that we give you is total satisfaction. Oh, I never miss. Total satisfaction. We will diagnose you. We will actually dissect your condition to the latter. And as you sit there, you're just like, hey, doctor, where have you been? where have you been all our lives? I'm like, I am here now. We stay present, right? So thank you so much once again for being an amazing audience. All of you who actually supporting our platform by purchasing merchandise, coming in for the consultations, sending those M-Pesa messages, we say thank you so much. You don't know how many people you're supporting through that. You might think it's me that you're supporting, but the truth is, it's not just me. There's a whole team that is responsible for everything I do, and that team depends on your support, guys. All right? And on that note, I am going to introduce something very, very beautiful, possibly from next week on Monday, and I hope that it actually goes well for you. But again, we stay present because we don't care about Monday, we care about today. If anything comes in and God allows us to live on Monday, we shall do what we have to do. So thank you so much. Now, tonight's live, I'm going to talk about heart disease. Why am I going to talk about heart disease? We've talked about all these things. We talked about avoiding seed oils, avoiding wheat, avoiding sugars and all that. And now it has become a new language out there on the media. Avoid wheat, avoid seed oils. We have explained every single reason. Now, it's time for us to actually get deeper into medical conditions that are actually brought about by these sugars, the wheat, and the seed oils. Why do we talk about that? Why do we tell you to fix the gut? Why do we advocate against gut dysbiosis? All right, one of those conditions is heart disease. And if I talk about heart disease, you'll realize, just talking about heart disease, that's a very wide aspect. You realize there are people who have suffered the fate of heart problems, and they have different diagnoses. For example, you see somebody having a diagnosis of coronary artery disease. Another one will have cardiac arrhythmias. Another one will have heart valve disease. Another one will have cardiomyopathy. What are these? What are they? These big diagnoses that we get all the time and we get scared. I also want you to know that the pharmaceutical companies, they survive through selling you fear. Hello? Hello? They cannot survive when you are not afraid. That's why they are so scared about anybody who's trying to wake up the masses and who's trying to actually destroy the fear in the masses. Guess what? I am part of that generation. We are here to make sure that your fear has disappeared. Once your fear has gone, trust me, the doctor will not scare you. Oh, you will not run to take a statin just because the doctor said, oh, your cholesterol is beyond 200, please run and take a statin, and now you're taking a statin every single night. That will not happen. No, it will not happen, because you'll ask, why should I take a statin? Right? They don't like that question, why? And then the how. Daktari, you're telling me to take a statin to lower my cholesterol levels. How is that going to happen? How are they going to work? Tell me. If you tell me how they're going, I need to be convinced, because I'm the one who is going to take the medication. So therefore, I need some convincing. All right? When I get the convincing, then I can easily take the medication without having to worry. Oh, you know what? Because some of you come with an entire prescription to my office, 10 drugs, and you're asking me, Daktari, of course I take these 10 drugs. I even have the pill organizer. I was given this pill organizer by a medical representative or by a pharmacy somewhere. Now I arrange my pills and I take them faithfully, but my condition is not improving. Why is that? Why is that? But you see, you are afraid to ask your doctor. That's why I come in. I come in to actually destroy that fear, so that if you pay consultation and you move in that consultation room, you deserve all information, because the side effects of this medication are going to come direct to you, not to the doctor, not to the prescriber, not to the guidelines. No, they're going to come to you, because every medication is actually a poison at low doses. But food is not poison unless you're taking sugars, because sugar is not food, sugar is products. So welcome on board. As you like this live and share it widely, please. That's the only thing you do. You sit back with your pen and paper, you relax, you share the live, you like it so that it can actually get to other people the way it got to you. Realize we are being blocked from getting anywhere. So if you share it, it becomes easier for other people to get it. You understand the issues of algorithms? Thank you very much. Now, coronary heart disease. So I want to tell you all these conditions, where they're coming from and what are they. We have a coronary artery disease, which will be our baseline for these discussions tonight. But before I do that, so you allow me to say hi to some individuals, right? And I'll start with Facebook. Santos, I see Santos, I see GK Julius, I see Brian Buoma. I also see Isaac Njenga. Can't find you on YouTube. Please go. You see, that's what I'm talking about. Every time there's a live, somebody tells me they are not finding me, and I know. Now I'm becoming aware. Simply, Isaac, go on Health and Wellness Sport. Go on YouTube and search Health and Wellness Sport. You will see the Health and Wellness Sport. Simply tap the icon. There's a live there. You will find it. All right. Thank you for that. We have somebody called who? Isaac Njenga is in the building. I see you, brother. I see Kekeli Kafu is in the building. I see Jemima Wairimu. You're looking dope. I appreciate. Thank you so much. Super fabric. I appreciate. I'm seeing Henry Munene watching you from Zambia. Imagine that. We are in Zambia. And I saw a pharmacy labeled Muchile, Dr. Muchile, straight in Lusaka. On the streets of Lusaka, we have a pharmacy. I hope that pharmacy does not close one day when they start saying, Daktari is fighting pharmacies. I never fight pharmacies. I want truth. That's Henry Munene from Zambia. Amazing, Henry. How are you, brother? Kiplas Boniface. I was almost chased out of word round for asking a question, why? I knew a healed patient is a lost customer. Amazing. Amazing. I tell you these things all the time. They will chase you everywhere. Do not bow down to that pressure. When they chase you, just know you're doing the right thing. Ask again and again. And you see, the evil nature in them will try to make them defend themselves by chasing you away. Just the same way you go into a church and you try to question a pastor, and the pastor sends bodyguard to you to kick you out. We say that on Friday. It's not going to happen. Amazing. On YouTube, who is here? Joab Oboge in the building. Hose, easy pain and suffering from God's people. Simple as that. My role is to ease pain and suffering from the life of God's people. That's my only purpose on this world. So if the bullet comes between my eyes, so be it. I mean, do it twice and confirm, so that I don't wake up. You know, you can shoot once and you think, like a thief. Mwizi anafinywa mpaka kichwa inakwama kwa barabara, but the leg is still moving. No, please do it twice, so that so that you confirm dead. Okay? Yeah. Where is Kevin? Somebody's called Where is Kevin? Hey, Kevin Kalimwa is here, logged in from Utawala. Amazing, Kevin. Allah. Amazing. So before I even move on from this Utawala thing, I went somewhere in Pipeline. So a guy of mine told me to just visit Pipeline and just check out his friend who was sick. And I went to Pipeline. Hey, guys in Pipeline, you guys need to actually wake up. The houses in Pipeline, there's no sunlight, my friends. What happens there? So I went to Pipeline, met this guy. This guy is suffering, and this guy is sleeping in the house, and he's getting emaciated every day. I'm like, when was the last time you enjoyed sunlight? He told me, I did that when I was still working on Mujengo. When was that? 5 years ago. I'm like, ah, yeah. So some money came in and decided you not enjoy the sun again. He's like, no, you see, now I'm locked out in this bed. And then in that room, there were a couple of guys. There were about 6, 7 guys. Then we came in, 2 of us. We were 8 now. And I was coming in to just review these guys, X-rays and all that, and just see how far he is. My friend, when I got there, and then of course I'm blessed to be a talkative guy. I talk too much sometimes. So I was there asking this guy questions, and every guy in the room is looking at me like, "Hi, when daktari?" I'm like, no, I'm just a guy who knows much about health. So yeah, let's see how you can help. And this guy's like, tuambie ukweli pwani. So now everybody was throwing a question and I'm answering these questions. I realized I need to wake up earlier. I need to wake up 1 hour earlier and sleep 1 hour late. Why? Because there's a huge gap between the general public and healthcare. Imagine my role is to bridge that gap. But there's a huge gap. I was so surprised that out of these 7 guys, including the one who is sick, the 8th guy, they know nothing. Like, totally. Me, I was thinking, hey, you know what? Because sometimes I pass through Nairobi streets and like, hey, Dr. Mavis, hey. I'm like, amazing. We move. Oh, you've helped me so much. I'm like, amazing. Let's take a photo. I'm like, okay, let's move. I'm not a celebrity, but I'm known at least I'm known. So then, these guys, I'm like, these are the people who consume healthcare, like literally. At the base, at the bottom of the food chain in terms of healthcare, these are the consumers. The most consumers are those. These are the people who get into a hospital and there's no medication in a pharmacy. They're the ones who actually riot. But they have no information about the medications. They have no information about health conditions. They even don't know how important the sun is. I'm like, And then they opened up my mind because they told me a lot of medical conditions that are happening in those areas and all that. And I was just like, we need to wake up earlier. And now I see the need to actually get to Mashinani. You see that? Because how many people can access the internet? How many people will choose between buying bundles and buying sukuma wiki? How many? You saw during the COVID period, how many people would choose between buying a mask for 10 shillings and buying sukuma wiki for 10 shillings? That's like, mask, acha nishikwe na polisi. Hata huko wanapeana mandazi ya asubuhi, chai, I'll drink tea there, so there's no expense. So please, the best thing you can do to us is to share our platforms. I know, Facebook looks very old school, but how many people are on Facebook? It's actually our second largest platform after TikTok. So if you're on Facebook and you can actually share these things, please share them to people. Not everybody wants to watch a 2-hour live on YouTube, but I make sure even with a 2-hour live, I still make sure short videos are coming through so that they keep you always engaged. But you see somebody's blocking them from reaching you people. Sometimes you realize even last time when you were doing a live on Monday, the first live after coming from Nairobi, there's always hiccups. So I'm even surprised that this one is still on. But anyway, keep sharing those lives because you're saving a lot of people without even knowing. A lot of people have been saved through my gospel without even interacting with me in person. They actually meet me after trying my things because they think, this one is just an online doctor and maybe what he's saying will not work. So then they go ahead and try it, but secretly. And then later on they bring their testimonies. You can see it in my comment sections when I put up a video about somebody, a video or a post about somebody who has actually recovered. So please, I don't request you to like this video because I want you to like my videos and my lives. No, I request you because this information is very important. And if you are wise, you will see. Like a very simple example. Right now, if you walk into a supermarket, what do you people buy? When I tell you healthy eating is not expensive, you people argue so much, right? But then I tell you, let me look at your shopping trolley. What do you think you'll buy in a supermarket that is healthy? Is it only me? I walk into that supermarket and I can only see ghee, toiletries, and possibly salt. What do you people buy in supermarkets? And then sometimes when you start waking up, you will see somebody with a whole trolley of things, useless things in the supermarket, and you're looking at them, you're just like, you have that feeling of just taking everything from that trolley But you can't just say, okay, maybe one day they'll come and hear the voice of Muchile and they change their lives for the better. So please, keep sharing those lives, keep sharing those videos, however small it is, share it to trigger them. I know of guys who have actually received a lot of beatings from their families because they keep on sharing my videos in their family WhatsApp groups. Do not tire. One day they will listen, because nobody is interested in health information until they start to suffer. All of us know, you know very well, you're not interested in health. You don't care about health until you suffer. Until you spend so much money treating some condition that you don't understand. Until you start taking pills that somebody is telling you these pills are for a lifetime and you don't want that. Until the day that you go into a hospital with your child and possibly your child passes away or your parent passes away because of negligence. And then you blame the doctors instead of actually changing your lifestyle. Right? Everybody starts to pay attention to health when it actually hits them. Nobody cares about health. You think everyone... I actually put on these cameras to just listen to myself. I never consider you as an audience as such. I always put these cameras so that I can actually listen to myself and teach myself and remind myself. So when you're thinking that, you know what, this doctor is just controversial, I am controversial to you, but I'm not to myself. So I'm reminding myself of my faults so that I never go back to them. So lucky you who has actually gone through the same path like me. Now you get the information, you get better. And then they start telling you are in a cult. You see that? So keep doing it. Keep doing it. You're not doing it for me, you're doing it for the entire world, and you're actually doing God's work. Congratulations. Right, Job Obog is in the building. I see Bube Agnes. Karibu Nichelewe. Good evening, Doc and classmates. Watching live from Plymouth, England. Every time you get me with these topics, these names of countries in UK. Yeah? There's somebody called Javan Leo here in Luanda, Vihiga. And Javan, what is happening to Luanda people? Luanda, there are so many accidents in Luanda nowadays. Are you people okay? Eh? The other day, a fire engine just killed a border guy. I'm like, what is happening to Luanda people? About Luanda, Mulisa. Yeah? Happiness Adams is here. Steve Lago is in the building. Thank you, Steve Lago, for joining us. Happiness Adams, I see you. I see Kefa Ogwell, Ward Abeno, Agi Kelly. Happiness, I see Victor Minor. Evans Tanu is here. Buchi 254. How is Turkana, my brother? I see Ann Muff. Angie Karuna. Angie, welcome on board. Angie Karuna, I appreciate you. Karibu sana. Clinton Makori is in the building. Sam Gdemia. Mukire is in the building. Ramadan Ingalga. Saravuma. Oh, amazing to have all of you here. Mohamed Wario is in the building. Chaltu Debaso. Amazing. Akameti, Chaltu. Nancy Allen tuned in on YouTube. Thank you. Caroline Sang. Thanks, Doc, for hitting the nail on the head. No beating around the bush. No shortcut. We have to eat healthy. Amazing. Prick is in the building. I see Matavas. Antus also is in the building. When sometimes I speak these things, people think I'm so harsh. Until they meet me in person, they're like, "Hi, Daktari, but on YouTube you are very harsh." Anthony Aguta, welcome on board. On YouTube you are very harsh. I'm like, okay. Yeah, so what do you think? Nish tuned in from Qatar. I see people on TikTok. Genevieve. I see Chito is in the building. Jaco Bravo, amazing. Thank you so much, brother. John Kimani. Our company is offering job opportunities. In box, we have... Hey, okay, those who are looking for jobs, John Kimani is offering those, so please, his company or their company. Cheru is in the building. Somali man at working earlier sucks. Hey, that's a man saying that, and you've labeled yourself Somali man. You're saying waking up. Hey, Somali kama si biashara hamtaki kuamka. Hey, Lucy Muragu is in the building. I see Mson. Mr. Thinker is here also. Tim Kekeli is in the building. Naima. Coffee latte. By the way, your information on eating boiled milk really helped me, thanks. Milk is for babies and calves. Adults should never take milk. If you're taking milk, make sure it is fermented and not boiled. Simple. Hey, Tyrex, I see you. I see, I've seen a lot of people being punished in their WhatsApp groups. Huyo daktari tena. Your video 10. Susan Mwanuli, I changed my diet. I look very good. Amazing. Keep looking beautiful. Joatina from Ghana. Oh, Ghana, we are in the house. Amazing. Albatross 94. Mi hata useme nini, I will die with milk. Amazing. The same way people don't want to grow up. So we can't help you grow up, my friend. It's a daily process. You have to grow up on your own. Right? Masi Cheupe. What of tea? Tea is water and tea leaves. No sugar, no milk. Kansas represented Ahmed Kibet. Amazing. Gatim is also in the building. And Leba Jones, please talk about secondary fertility. Tune from Malta. Doha is locked, Jefferson. You people are so many. Let's go into the topic of the night. Now, 3 conditions that I want you to differentiate perfectly. Doc, I just got blasted the other day when I asked someone why they accepted a particular test. Brian Msoya. They never stop. I don't know. They never stop. People will never wake up. And you see, the problem is when you wake people up, they start resenting you. They hate you. They hate you for actually trying to save their lives. People are, the brainwashing went to the core, to the DNA. It is so deep into the DNA. But anyway, we move. So we have coronary artery disease. This is what we are going to base our argument or our conversation mostly on, the coronary artery disease. This is what you people call a heart attack or myocardial infarction or angina. You see the one that you get difficulty in breathing and then chest pains and then there's like a sharp pain that radiates to the back and then towards the left hand, because we call that referred pain. Referred pain basically means, you see, you cannot feel pain in the heart. You people will say, oh, a heartbreak, I feel pain. I was broken the heart and it's so painful. Hey, a heart is a muscle. It doesn't feel that pain that you actually want it to feel. Right? So there is a nerve that supplies the heart. The same nerve supplies the left side of the body, basically the left hand and all that. So it's called referred pain. So when you have a pain in the heart, this pain is radiated to the left hand. When you have a pain in the kidneys, you start feeling lower back, your back pain, lower back pains, because it's referred pain. So that nerve simply sends pain to the left hand and is so characteristic. Very sharp pains in the chest, difficulty in breathing, and then that pain radiates to the left hand all the way to the back. That is what we call angina. And then you go and you're given some medication to actually open up those blood vessels, to actually increase blood flow towards the heart muscle so that the pain disappears. Some of you are given painkillers to fix the symptoms. But that is what we call coronary heart disease. We're going to base our conversation on that because that seems to be the mother of most of these heart conditions. Number 2, we have the heart rhythm disorders. Heart rhythm, all right? There's a heartbeat, there's that rhythm, a normal rhythm, lapped up. So there's a normal rhythm, the one that the doctor takes or measures using the stethoscope. You want to know if the rhythms are okay, if there's some murmurings or so. That is what we call heart rhythm disorders. Most of us call them arrhythmias. You see, when I tell you arrhythmias, you're like, daktari, No, arrhythmias basically means abnormal rhythms of the heart. All right? And those rhythms, these are basically nervous transmission, abnormal transmission of electrical signals to the heart muscles. For you to get the heart to pump, it must be stimulated. And there is now these nerves that supply the heart muscles that rely on electrical signals to stimulate the heart muscles. You see that? That's why we take electrolytes. That's why we take water and salt. That's why we take magnesium. That's why we take potassium in foods and all that, to basically balance the electrolytes so that the heart muscles can contract in a very, very stable rhythm. Number 3, we have heart valve disease. Heart valve, we have valves in the heart. Valves that actually prevent blood from coming back to the heart, and valves that actually channel blood into the heart and out. So they block the blood coming back so that we don't have the lodging of blood in the heart muscles, all right, or inside the heart. So when the heart pumps, these valves open to allow blood to get out, and then they close to allow to block the backflow of blood into the heart. Those are the valves. Some of these are actually destroyed by medications. Some of them are destroyed by old age, inflammatory foods. As you age and as you consume a lot of inflammatory foods, you're actually causing a lot of problems to these valves. So wear and tear, they start to tear, they start getting inflamed, and now they cannot perform adequately. So we have this blood lodging into the heart, and we also have backflow of blood into the heart, a lot of problems, right? And also, those heart valve diseases are actually caused by most diseases or side effects of medication, like the COVID medication. COVID medication actually caused a lot of problems with these heart rhythms. Drugs like fluoroquinolones. I don't want to use those words most of the times. Okay, those drugs that are in the class of ciprofloxacin. Most of you have used Cipro. When you have a diarrhea, when you have food poisoning or typhoid, Cipro is a very, very common drug. Or even urinary tract infections. Cipro is there. Those drugs that are in that classification, we have norfloxacin, we have ciprofloxacin and others. They can actually cause you problems. Right? We can cause you problems with these valves. Another one, these valves can actually be, there are children who are born with defective valves. That's basically congenital, what we call congenital. These big words, don't let them destroy your mind. Just allow yourself to actually understand what is behind this. So when you say congenital, we mean birth defects, all right? And then we have cardiomyopathy. Cardiomyopathy is myo is muscle. Cardio is the heart. So cardiomyopathy. Pathy means destruction. So diseases that involve the muscles of the heart. That's what we call cardiomyopathy. COVID vaccines also came in the side effect of cardiomyopathy. You see that? So drugs can be a cause of these problems. Nerve defects, electrolyte imbalance or mineral deficiencies, congenital issues can actually cause the destruction of the valves in the heart, causing you heart problems. And then we have the heart failure. So most people struggle differentiating between a heart failure and a heart attack. I've just told you a heart attack is basically there is no oxygen and nutrition towards the heart muscles. There is limited flow of oxygen and nutrition towards heart muscles. They start dying. We end up having a heart attack. It starts with very painful, those projections in the chest and the back and the left hand, and then you end up having a heart attack. So the heart just, pop, you're gone. And this life is actually inspired by one of my clients. I met this client on Tuesday. We had a good conversation, and this client gets on back to his home. And on Friday, this guy has shortness of breath, and boom, rushed to hospital, and we lost that guy. That is a very sad story. Very sad story, and may his soul rest in peace. All right? Does ulcers cause chest pains? Yes, it causes. It's not chest pains as such. It's just this discomfort here. We call it epigastric pain. All right? Yeah. So heart failure is a different one. Heart failure is basically the heart is unable to meet the needs of the body. So it's unable to pump enough blood that is going to supply the entire body. That's a heart failure. See that? So it is unable. It's not dead. It's not suffering. It has not stopped. It is still pumping, but there is a high demand for oxygen, for nutrition, and for blood into the tissues and organs. But the heart is unable to meet that demand. That need, it doesn't meet. That's now a heart failure. So the heart has actually failed to meet the demands of the body. But heart attack, reduced oxygen and all that, and then the heart muscle starts to die, and we have issues with the heart attack. So I thought you should know that, because once you know that, it becomes easier for you to actually roll this conversation. Now let's start this conversation. Heart disease. The lie that has actually come out of this conversation, including strokes, we've talked about stroke before, is that heart disease is a problem of the heart. Wacha nikunywe maji kwanza. The biggest mistake that you people have actually been sold, and you've actually believed it, is that when you talk about heart disease, we're actually talking about the heart. That the heart is the problem. Yeah? Can I shock you? That heart disease is actually a problem of blood vessels. So as you think, oh, okay, so he has a swollen heart. What happened to the heart? Oh, so he had a heart attack. So the heart was dying. The heart had a problem. So he had a heart failure. So it's the heart. It's the heart. All your attention has been taken to the heart, and you've forgotten the real case, which is the blood vessels. So all heart conditions, except the one that involves conduction, the arrhythmias, because that is nerve problems, is a vascular problem. You started from the vessels, and then the heart is a symptom of vascular disease. So we are focusing on the symptom. Anytime you're doing a surgery for the heart and removing the heart, giving you a new heart. Anytime you're giving medications to improve heart function, pumping and all that, the digoxins. Anytime you're giving drugs for hypertension to actually help the heart survive. Anytime you're giving the cardiotonic agents to actually help the muscles of the heart to contract and pump blood effectively, you are focusing on the symptom. Daktari is in the building. You can disapprove that. You are focusing on the symptom of problems that are actually coming in from the blood vessels. So let's break it down even easier. There's something called ischemic heart disease. Ischemic heart disease Ischemic heart disease, the word ischemia, I've talked about this multiple times. If it can be ischemia or ischemia, depending on if you went to a group of schools or Remohoya primary like me. So ischemia basically means there's reduced blood flow towards a tissue or an organ. And you know, blood is the medium or the vehicle that carries all the nutrition, oxygen, even carbon dioxide, and is the one that actually carries immune cells towards a tissue or an organ. And the reason why we are feeding these things there is to make sure that those organs survive, whether it's the heart, the brain, even the leg. We are making sure that these organs survive by giving them what they need to repair, rebuild, and grow. That is nutrition, food, and minerals. That is oxygen. That is carbon dioxide. Most people ask, but carbon dioxide is carried from the organs back to the lungs for exhalation. Understand this, that you cannot send enough oxygen into the tissues or into the cells without carbon dioxide. Oh, you need carbon dioxide there so that you can actually send oxygen into the tissues and the cells generally. So CO2 is very important. That's why you have a balance. It's not like when you exhale every CO2 in your system. No. Carbon dioxide is also used to balance the acidic pH in the blood. All right? Because when it gets into the blood, it forms a weak carbonic acid. That is how we start balancing the pH. So without carbon dioxide, you will not have that pH in blood. So it is very important. All right? So now you know. So when we are blocking all this supply of nutrition, oxygen, immune cells towards the heart muscles, what do we expect? These heart muscles needs that nutrition or that supplementation to function properly. So if you deny it oxygen, you deny it glucose, you deny it even ketone bodies, you deny it immune cells, this tissue here will start dying because there's no supply of all these things that are supposed to help it survive. Now it starts to die. And when it starts to die, of course, the heart starts to struggle. So when you hear the word ischemic heart disease, it means there is limited oxygen or blood flow towards the heart muscles, and then those heart muscles starts to die. That's what we call ischemic heart disease. That's the mother of all these issues with the heart. And here is where we find the coronary heart disease. Realize that the veins or the arteries that supply the heart muscles are called the coronary arteries. So when you have any blockage in these coronary arteries, you expect limited blood flow towards the heart muscles. That is where we start getting the heart problems from. And the point for this live will be, you must get out of this live understanding what actually caused the blockage of these coronary arteries. Right? So if you have a relative who has suffered heart attack or a heart disease and they survived, lucky, we are here to fix that. There are those who actually passed on from that, like my client. Right? So unfortunate, but we move so that we actually correct where we had gone wrong. You see that? Good. So then another lie that has been sold to you. First lie is that the heart is the problem. No, the heart is not the problem. The blood vessels that supply the heart are the problem. And for you to get it even clear, your body is designed to heal on its own. Hello? Your body is designed to heal on its own. It has all those mechanisms. That's why it's so difficult for you to get a heart attack or a stroke. Realize you block one artery that supplies the heart muscle, the coronary artery. This heart will simply generate other small blood vessels to bypass that blockage. Simply the stroke. So by the time you're getting a stroke, you've actually worked so hard. And then guess what we'll tell you? We will tell you, oh, it's in genetics. No, it's not in genetics. Genes needs to be turned on, and genes can be turned off. So strokes are not in your genes, no. Your genes are turned on by what you people are actually eating. That's why we have that book. Was it written by who? Dr. Campbell or something? I think so. And she says, put your heart in your mouth. Put your heart in the mouth. Some of you have read that book that was written by another doctor that says we are what we eat, right? We've read those books and you will see all this information is there. But we ignore that. We don't like reading. We want somebody to read it for us, break it down for us, and then we criticize. When was the last time you read a book? Any book concerning health? When was the last time? But ask them, when was the last time they read a novel book, a romantic book? They read them every time. They are in their cars. They are in their handbags. How Romeo did what? So another lie Apart from knowing that the heart problem is the problem. Another lie. Somebody said myocardial infarction. Thank you so much, Evans Kirumi. Myocardial infarction is what we are talking here when you're talking about the ischemic heart disease. Infarction means death and necrosis. Myocardial means the heart muscles. All right? Good. So another lie we've been sold is that cholesterol is the reason why we have heart attacks. That heart attacks are coming in because of fat deposits in the blood vessels. And then they go ahead and label that name atherosclerosis. Now, I want all of us to simply go to Google and don't go and define atherosclerosis. Just go there and say complications of diabetes. I want you to see the lie in the system. Complications of diabetes. The major complication of diabetes is the heart disease and strokes. Why? Because of a complication that is called atherosclerosis. It is a sugar problem, not a fat problem, not a cholesterol problem. And now you're told, because this cholesterol of yours is going to cause you a heart attack, that's how they sell you the fear. You must take a statin to actually reduce the cholesterol in the system. The question is, why do I have high cholesterol in the system? Why do I have to reduce the cholesterol in the system instead of asking why this cholesterol is actually excess in my system? We are so quick to take medications, but we are not so quick to find solutions to problems. If cholesterol is the problem, the high cholesterol in the system is the problem. And now our statin is going to reduce that cholesterol in the system. Where was it coming from? Why was it coming in so much? Hello? Ask Daktari. Yes, I'm going to take this statin. That's a very brilliant idea so that I can reduce the cholesterol in my system. But Daktari, tell me, where is it coming from? And why is it coming in so much? Why? Let them tell you, oh, it's because you're eating a lot of fat. Most of you have never eaten fatty meats. Most of you have started using ghee and tallow the other day. Most of you have been using all these seed oils all through, but you have a heart attack. Where did it come from? None of you has eaten 8 eggs ever since they were born. None of you. And even up to now, I tell people to eat 8 eggs a day. They are so shocked. See, I'll grow big. But you are already big without eating 8 eggs. How did you get there? How? But your mother suffered a heart attack. Your mother suffered strokes. Multiple strokes. And they tell you so well. You know what? If you have one stroke, even if it's a TIA, transient ischemic attack, which is a mini stroke, even if you have a mini stroke, know that the second occurrence of a stroke will be very high. But they don't tell you you'll get a second episode of a stroke if you're still doing the same things that you did before you got the first stroke. So they will tell you that to sell you the fear. They'll put you on all this medication to prevent you from getting a stroke, and then they will still leave you to eat the same foods that you ate that actually caused you the mini stroke. Are they making sense? And you who is seated there listening, are you getting the sense? Are you getting the sense? Oh, that's why knowledge is power. And knowledge will actually give you options and freedom to actually choose the better options. Sometimes before you criticize anything, go and read about it. You ask yourself, how did you get obese when you've not been eating fatty meat? Now when I tell you to eat fatty meat, you tell me, oh, unajua daktari, hii nyama ya mafuta inanifanya ninone. I'm like, nyama ya mafuta? Umekula nyama ya mafuta for how long? How much do you weigh? Oh, you laugh. Because when I ask you directly, daktari, wacha tu, hiyo wacha. But you have to say it because we are trying to diagnose something. Tell me, oh, you know, I weigh 97 kgs. I don't remember the last time I was below 100 kgs. This is in our family. Our family, we are big people. We are big-bodied. I'm like, okay, so Miss Chubby. Oh, Mr. Chubby. Keep going. It's in the genes. But then when we scrutinize the genes, we are like, are these genes responding to what you've been eating? Now you're like, yeah, okay, by the way, daktari, I got obese without eating fatty meats. I've been eating lean meat all through. 2 pieces of lean meat, 2 eggs in a week. If I eat 2 eggs today until next week. And how did you get obese? Now you start seeing the sense, right? Now you start seeing the sense. That's why we are here. And it will be hard on you until you see the sense. Because we don't want you to get to a level where you have a heart attack and now you want to reverse the heart attack. You already have it. You're going the medication direction. So our role is to make sure we prevent you from getting there. So as you argue, sometimes just do it chini ya maji, so that I don't know you're doing it. Come on my comment section, argue, but as you do it, go and buy some ghee. It will be good for you, because sometimes it's ego. I used to do that in the comment section of other people that I thought they knew better than I did. So that insecurity in me, actually, it was so bad that I will come after anybody who is trying to preach health information that was contrary to what I had studied in the syllabus. Go and come hard on them. And I wanted to prove a point. And then, of course, on my comment, you will see a lot of people who we resonate. We are in the same group. A lot of medics who feel attacked by that comment. They will come and support my comment. I'm like, ooh, I feel good about it. And then the next time, problems again. I still have the same anger. So fix the anger and focus on what is important. Good. So that is it. So fat deposits are blamed. And I've told you multiple times that cholesterol has to stop. You have to stop blaming cholesterol. It is your friend, just like salt. They are all your friends. Whatever you're eating is very minimal amount of cholesterol in your bloodstream. And please, most of us confuse cholesterol with something called triglycerides. You see on the cholesterol test, you will see LDL, HDL, total cholesterol, and then triglycerides. And I've explained this. Triglycerides are not cholesterol. Triglycerides are fats that come from the sugar that is called fructose, the fruit sugar, the honey sugar, the sugarcane sugar, the processed food sugar that makes you addicted to the processed foods. It's called fructose. Triglycerides are coming from this. And triglycerides are the reason why you end up having a fatty liver or fat accumulating around your organs, including the heart, including the abdomen. All right? So that is the problem. The triglycerides is the problem. And the body is designed so perfect. Look at it this way. The reason why I'm telling you that heart disease is because of the blood vessels. You see, we have a blood vessel, right? And this blood vessel has a thin layer of cells on this. There's a thin layer of lining of cells here called the endothelial cells. Endothelial cells. Those cells are very intentional. They were placed there for a reason. All right? They were placed here for a reason. And the reason is this. One, they produce an enzyme called lipoprotein lipase. The word lipase is what you should actually capture here. Lipase means lipids and then S, A-S-E. Any word that ends with the word A-S-E is an enzyme. Glucosidase, S-A-S-E, that is an enzyme. Then lipase, lip is lipids. So lipase is an enzyme that hydrolyzes fats, aka lipids. So these cells here, the endothelial cells, they simply tap any triglycerides in the blood, they hydrolyze it so that it closes the blood vessel wall and is sent into the fat cells for storage. Very important. Why? Because these endothelial cells here are the ones that actually remove fat from your bloodstream. Hello? The body was designed to heal on its own, not a statin. The endothelial cells. Number two, these endothelial cells, they ensure that blood flows through the blood vessels smoothly without any interruption. Right? And this integrity of these endothelial cells is maintained by saturated fats. So the more you use the tallow, the more you use the ghee, the more you eat the fatty meat, the more you eat the eggs, you are maintaining the integrity of these cells here called the endothelial cells. If any case, if there is any inflammation happening on the blood vessel wall, any inflammation, whatever comes to fix this inflammation is the cholesterol that you people hate so much. So any corrosion that is being caused on these cells here is fixed by cholesterol. That's how we end up blaming. Thank you so much, Clarity. I appreciate that. That's how we end up blaming cholesterol for heart attack. Because when we're coming to form cholesterol here, a layer of cholesterol, you're like forming a bandage in your blood vessel. That bandage can actually narrow the blood vessel, right? But the bandage is not the problem. If you see somebody putting on a bandage on their leg, do you blame the bandage or there's something the bandage is actually trying to cover so that it starts the healing process? The bandage is covering the wound. What caused the wound is the fire. So how can you blame the bandage for the wound? There's a question here. The syllabus dictated I do a transfusion last month. Being a student of HOS. Amazing, Shiro. Amazing. You simply take a gap between your meals, fast to concentrate stomach acid, and then eat red meat plus green leafy vegetables. You get iron from the red meat. You get vitamin C from green leafy vegetables. You have strong acid because you fasted. You absorb iron. Your blood levels go back to normal. It is so amazing. Nutrition is not that complicated until they put in the syllabus. And until the food industry put a hand into nutritional syllabus, that's how we ended up messing all these things. And that's why I tell nutritionists to wake up. If you don't, right now there are people who are actually preaching healthy gospel and people are losing weight. You will get out of the market so fast. You as a nutritionist, keep on saying, oh, saturated fats are a problem. And people are getting better. Thank you, Irene. I appreciate those gifts. Thank you. Lunch. Hey, okay. Bube Agnes has joined Doctor's panel. Amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. So this integrity has to be maintained. But guess what? What destroys this integrity? Somebody will never mention this. Oh, the unsaturated fats. The unsaturated fats. Did you know olive oil is part of the unsaturated fats? So don't heat it. Use it for top dressing. If you use it for top dressing, you protect this integrity. If you heat it and make cook your meals through with it or deep fry things with it, you destroy this lining. All right. So when you destroy this lining, problems start because one, the enzyme that is supposed to trap fat from the bloodstream and send it into the fat cells is now reducing. We called it what? Lipoprotein lipase. So when you reduce the amount or the quantity of that enzyme, we are unable to trap fats that are actually in our bloodstream. And these fats can clog the arteries, causing you problems. And those are triglycerides, not cholesterol, because cholesterol is just coming in to fix the problem. So seed oils are number one on the list of things that destroy this integrity. Please mention one food product that is coming from an industry that does not have vegetable oils. I'll be here waiting. Mention one food product that you know coming from an industry that you don't see vegetable oils as part of it, canola or vegetable oils as part of it. Please mention one. Oh, you will never mention it because most of them have vegetable oils. Yeah? And I don't know who lied to people that canola is a very healthy oil. Now you drop the seed oils and you buy canola. Huh? Hey, canola. Anyway, so that is number one, seed oils. Number two, wheat is very inflammatory to this membrane here, to these cells here. Number three, of course, sugar. Do you know why we do a HbA1c in diabetic people? People who have diabetes, do you know why we do a HbA1c test? HbA1c is a test that is performed to people who have diabetes. And is actually going to diagnose diabetes or going to show how far you are with diabetes so that we change the medication or we change the regimen. Basically, we add more drugs or we send you to insulin therapy. Do you know why we do that test? It is called a glycation test. Now, this is chemistry. Glycation means attachments. Attachments. So sugar attaches to red blood cells and makes them very sticky and very sluggish. And this attachment is what we measure in form of percentage by doing a HbA1c. So HbA1c measures how sticky your blood is. We have used that concept before. If you are new here, we normally use the concept of tea. So you have your good tea, cup of tea. You add in sugar, or that cup of coffee at Java. And then you add in your 6 spoonfuls of sugar. And then you stir it. It becomes very, very sweet, right? Unfortunately, the tea pours on the table. You leave it there for about 20 minutes and come and touch that table. What happens to that table? When you're touching that table, after that tea has spilled on that table, after 20 minutes you touch that table, what is happening to that table? Yeah, I'll be here waiting for that answer. What happens to that table? Let me see those answers. As we wait for when you're hang. Sticky, 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 sticky. Sticky, sticky, sticky. Hey, I'm glad you people know. I can even rest my case now. I can now go. So let me tell you what, the answer is very right. All right, that answer is so right. It is very sticky. Do you know that's exactly what HbA1c measures? How sticky is your blood in relationship to how much glucose or sugar is attached to red blood cells. That is what HbA1c measures. If you've done a HbA1c test, now you understand. That's what it measures. So it measures how sticky your blood cells are in relationship to how much sugars you are consuming. Not how much fats you're consuming. No, how much sugars you are consuming. Thank you very much. Do we have our answers? We do. Now look at it this way. So these sticky cells, what they do is, number one, they increase the viscosity of the blood, right? So the blood has become more viscous. It has become very, very thick, and now pushing this thick blood through the blood vessels becomes a challenge. So what do we expect? When the heart is trying to pump this blood through, this thick blood through this blood vessel, because remember this is a blood vessel and this is the heart. So you pump, it opens up, it relaxes. Pump, relaxes. So this is that blood pressure that is the upper blood pressure, the higher blood pressure. And then this is the lower one, as the heart is collecting blood to pump again. So now imagine that this is so thick. How is the heart going to pump this? It's like pushing mud through a pipe. Just compare pushing water through a pipe and then pushing mud through the same pipe. You see that struggle? So you need so much effort to pump this thick blood through this blood vessel. That's how your heart starts to struggle. That's how you start increasing blood pressures. And now the left heart of the side, which pumps, left heart of the heart, which pumps blood throughout the body, sorry, is, so the left side, left ventricle, is the one that is responsible for pushing blood all over the body. So that means if this blood is thick, we need so much effort from the left side of the heart to pump blood throughout the body. And this left side is called ventricle. So when it starts to swell, swelling is called hypertrophy. Hypertrophy. So cells are enlarging and becoming bigger. So when the left ventricle starts to swell, this is a condition that we call left ventricular hypertrophy. Left ventricle being large or growing large. And the reason is it is adapting so that it can actually pump this thick blood through that blood vessel, at least to send this blood to the tissues, including the heart itself. Now when you come and I do a chest x-ray, or I do a CT scan or an MRI, and I tell you, mtumishi or mwalimu, hey, your heart is enlarged. That's a serious problem. Imagine me telling you or breaking this news to you that your heart is enlarged. How will you feel? That you've worked so hard, you came in with shortness of breath and some chest pains here and there, and then now I'm here, I'm telling you, oh, you know what have you been eating? Tell me, kawaida tu foods, ugali and all that. Is it brown ugali? You say, no, white ugali. I'm like, okay, I note down. And do you eat fatty meats? You're like, sometimes, but sometimes, no, I don't like fatty meats because they give me nausea. I'm like, okay, but I will ignore that. You don't like it, I still tell you it's the fatty meats. I will never ask about sugar. Do you consume sugar? I will ask indirectly. Do you consume refined foods? Then you tell me, once in a while, but I'm not so much of a fan of refined foods. I actually eat natural foods. Even sugar, I use natural sugar, aka honey. Oh, okay, that's a good one. Keep using the honey. Reduce on the processed foods. So I'm basically, and then I ask you, how about you in your family? Is there somebody who has suffered a heart attack? Trust me, in your entire lineage, there's somebody who has suffered a heart attack, or there's always somebody who has suffered a stroke or cancer. They cannot lack one relative who suffered a stroke. You guys, I'm an mimi too. Is it me? You guys you've never had somebody who has suffered a heart attack in your lineage? Even if you're not aware, you start thinking maybe somebody died of a heart attack. Genes. You see this in the genes also. Now I'm just trying to find reasons around it. And then I will tell you anything against genes. I'll tell you, this now you have to take medication for a lifetime because it's in the genes. Because once I tell you it's in the genes, you will never see a reason to fight it. It's in our genes. I mean, it's ours. That's why you people own diseases. That's why you say, my ulcers, my heart attack, my hypertension, my pressure. Pressure yangu imepanda. Usinikasirishe, pressure yangu itapanda. Sukari zangu zitapanda. You own the disease. If you own the disease, how will you fight it? If I tell you it's in the genes, will you ever find a reason to fight it? It's like it's your fate already. It's determined that, I'm supposed to die of a heart attack. So why would I fight it when it's in our genes? Why? But the genes have to be turned on and off. And what turns on the genes is epigenetics. Lifestyles, diets, smoking, alcohol. Let's go back to what we were talking about. So this integrity, so this blood has become thick, and now these cells that are attached to sugars start to settle on the blood vessel wall. As they settle on this blood vessel wall, what cells are here again? Let me see if students are still on. I can simply see TikTok people are just flocking in. This is amazing. It's interesting to have these numbers on TikTok. Does never happen this way. Anyway, what cells did you say they're lining the blood vessels? Let me see if you guys remember. What is the name of those cells? Because I want it to sink in you so that you become a doctor on your own. You see? You see? When you become the doctor, I am a happy person. I am a happy teacher. No. Somebody is saying epithelial cells. Realize this. epithelial cells, they line literally every system in our system. It lines the gut, they line the mouth, they line everywhere. We have epithelial cells. They even line the vaginal tract and the urethra. All those places have epithelial cells. This one is not epithelial cells. This one is endothelial. Endo means inside. Yeah? So I want you to understand that endocarditis inside the heart, endothelial inside the blood vessel. So there are endothelial cells. All right? So not epithelial, endothelial. So these are the cells that protect you from those fats that you people blame. Because they basically produce an enzyme that traps the fats, hydrolyzes the fat, and then sends it into the fat cell. So it crosses the blood vessel wall easily, send into the blood vessels. Not the blood vessels, into the fat cells for storage. You see that? Yeah, so that you put on the weight and all that. Those are triglycerides, not cholesterol. Now, as sugar settles, or these cells that have sugar, they start to settle on this blood vessel wall. They start to attract other sticky cells. And now we form these lumps in the blood vessel. Because these are attracting each cell. Any cell that is passing in is attracted by these sticky cells. It sticks on it, sticks on it, sticks on it. Now we have these lumps all over the blood vessel. Inside the blood vessel, we have these small lumps. Those lumps are now starting to narrow the diameter of the blood vessel. All right? Now, on the blood vessel, as they stick here, they make the wall start to become thick, 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 thick. That thickening and narrowing of blood vessels is what we call atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis. Thickening and narrowing of blood vessels. Now realize we are also trapping red blood cells. So we are making them very sluggish. And these blood cells, these red blood cells, are supposed to actually carry oxygen to the tissues. So we have actually already reduced, not only have we reduced the diameter, the reduced blood amount that is going to the tissues, we have also reduced the amount of red blood cells that are sending every oxygen into the tissues. Now the tissues start to struggle because they don't have oxygen. They start to struggle because there's limited blood flow towards those tissues. So therefore, nutrition is limited. If there's an injury in those tissues, the healing process is very low and very slow, because sugar is also trapping the white blood cells, and for them to flow towards the wounds for healing is a long time. That's why most diabetics have problems with wound healing, because sugar traps the white blood cells. And now as the sugar settles on this blood vessel wall, it starts to cause the corrosion, rusting, corroding the levels of these endothelial cells. They are being corroded. And as the corrosion happens, what do we expect? A reduction in LPS, the lipoprotein lipase enzyme. Therefore, any fat that is in blood will survive. And because we have these lumps in the blood vessels and we are narrowing the diameter, any fat globule can actually clog the smallest artery. So those small arteries, because realize we start with a bigger artery and then it decussates into smaller arteries so that it can actually supply the heart muscles. So the coronary arteries are very small arteries that supply the heart muscles. So therefore, these smaller arteries, if they have those lumps inside them, they can easily clog. And as they clog, there is limited blood flow towards the heart muscles. Now we are causing ourselves a condition called a heart attack, myocardial infarction. It starts with angina pectoris. Angina pectoris is basically when you have that limited blood flow and then you start having pains, the chest pains that radiates to the left hand and to the back. That's angina. And then from there, as it dies completely, we have a heart attack, because infarction means death, necrosis. So now we have a heart attack. The heart is not functioning. So then how do you blame the heart? How did you even find a place to call it a heart disease instead of calling it a vascular disease? So when you focus your mind on the heart disease, every effort goes to treating the heart, including a surgery for the heart. But do you treat the blood vessels? Do you treat the blood vessels? Do you change what caused the clogging of the blood vessels? One agent, the sugars. You see that? Also, let me tell you one thing. We destroy this integrity of this blood vessel by these endothelial cells through smoking, cigarette smoking. Please, start quitting that smoke. The shisha. Anything smoke, let it go. The radicals that are very inflammatory, there, my friend, you can't handle them. Alcohol is part of that. Wheat is there. Inflammatory seed oils are there. You see that? And when I say sugar, I mean sugar in all forms. Because at the end of the day, Even fructose will be converted to glucose, and in blood we have glucose. So that's the problem. So those heart attacks that you people complain about, that you are so scared about, oh, they are coming. Imagine you being scared of a heart attack and you're eating those inflammatory foods. What do you expect? What about cooking with firewood? Cook with firewood. I mean, what is the problem with cooking with firewood? Cook with it. How do you treat with blood vessels? That's a very good question. The reason why we are here. So before I even talk about how, because that will be the parting shot, let me tell you this. As I was doing this research, I went to the WHO website, and I was saying the top 10 causes of death, diseases that cause death, the top 10. Number 1 is ischemic heart disease. One of the reasons why I decided to talk about it is ischemic heart disease. It's actually 13% of deaths in the world. Ischemic heart disease. Number 2, they're still classifying COVID-19 as this, as part of it. I don't know where they classify COVID-19 vaccines, but COVID-19 is number 2 at 8.8 million deaths every year. Number 3, strokes. We call them cerebrovascular accident or cerebrovascular disease. 10% of deaths. But do you realize, we've talked about stroke before, do you realize that the causes of stroke and the causes of heart disease are the same? So which tells you the top 3 diseases, remove just COVID. So on top 3, 2 diseases are caused by the same thing. But they're actually top 3 of the causes of death worldwide. Number 4, COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. People who smoke cigarettes know this one very well. We calculated the pack years in a life, if you remember. Number 4, lower respiratory tract infections, where we have pneumonia, bacterial, viral, or fungal, where we have bronchitis, acute bronchitis to be specific, not the chronic one, where we have influenza that causes severe pneumonia, where we have whooping cough, where we have TB, and you realize TB is also number 10 on the list of diseases of causes of death. So TB is number 10, but TB is also number 5. Lower respiratory tract infections. We have COVID is also there, and then aspiration pneumonia, where you inhale the vomit, you inhale paraffin, and all these things. All right, and people who have a reflux disease know very well this one is a problem. People who have a reflux disease, if you don't fix that gut, if you don't concentrate the stomach acid, and then you keep on suffering from a reflux disease, at some point you start to inhale that stomach content, and that will cause you a lot of pneumonia. Higher. Diabetes is number 8. So let's jump from number 5 and go ahead to number 8. Diabetes. How is diabetes not number 1 on this one? Yeah? If you've been here for all that time, how is diabetes coming in as number 8? Next to kidney disease. Of course, kidney disease is a complication of diabetes. Heart disease and ischemic heart attack is a complication of diabetes. But the reason why ischemic disease is number 1 and diabetes is number 8 is because they've ignored the sugar part. And number 2, they have blamed the fat, the cholesterol. So even if you go and just Google ischemic heart disease, you will see, they will tell you there are plaques, the fat plaques that break from cholesterol in the blood vessels that cause you clogging of these arteries and block it. Now, when they say that, you're afraid of the fats. That's why you don't eat eggs so much. You're afraid of eggs. Because you're thinking that the cholesterol that's coming from the egg will clog my arteries and cause me a heart attack or a stroke. Yeah? That's true, right? Yeah. That's why you're saying if I eat all these saturated fats, they will clog my arteries and I get a stroke. And I get a heart attack. I'll get a kidney disease. If I was the one who was doing this classification, I'll put diabetes as number 1. And pre-diabetes. Because most of us are pre-diabetic, but they just don't know. You will see a fat person walking into a lab, taking a blood sugar test, and it turns negative. So he comes out and says, oh, you know what, me, I don't have diabetes. I'm looking at you and I'm just saying, you don't have diabetes, but you're pre-diabetic. So you're basically waiting for the bomb. Most of you are pre-diabetic. Just tell me what you're eating, tell me the frequency of eating, and then tell me the level of activity. If you're eating so much carbohydrates, if you never fast, so you're taking 3+ meals a day, if your level of activity is very low, I am certain that this one, pre-diabetes, is there. It's just a matter of time. And it takes you about 10 to 30 years to move from a pre-diabetic state to a diabetic state. Possibly that's the reason why most of you will die from diseases like maybe pneumonia, which rely on your immunity. And then you say, alikufa pneumonia. But the truth is they died from a low immunity that was caused by prediabetes. Because your body is designed to have a high immunity to protect itself from diseases. So you die from a disease that actually involves low immunity. Right? And then we say, he died from this disease. But if we go deeper into it, we say, what caused this disease is a bacteria. How did he end up getting this bacteria? It's because his immunity was compromised. Then the bacteria conquered. And before we realized, it was resistant, and then he passed on. Things that require your immune system. Pre-diabetes lowers your immune system. So does diabetes. They are the same. The only difference is, one is just basically filling the fat cells, and the other one, the fat cells are already full. So by the time we are confirming you diabetes through these random blood sugar tests and the fasting blood sugar tests, you have been pre-diabetic all through anyway. You see that? So you need to move on from that. You need to understand that. So if you are consuming a lot of wheat, a lot of ugali, rice, and all those things, and then your level of activity is actually compromised, and then you have 3 meals a day plus snacking in between, of course, pre-diabetes is actually one of the questionable conditions there. So I'll put diabetes as number 1 and pre-diabetes. And then all these others are just complication of diabetes. Ischemic heart disease, complication of blood sugars and body sugars. COVID-19, complication of low immunity. That's why people who have diabetes suffer the most on COVID. Strokes, complication of diabetes. Kidney disease, complication of diabetes. So actually 1, 2, 3, 4, even together out 6, 7, to all these conditions, most of them, 90%, if not 98%, are sugar problems. Why don't we drop the sugars then? We don't want, right? Why would I drop sugar? I love my pancakes, right? They have some sugar there. I love my cakes on birthdays, right? They have sugars. I love my short tea with some sugar, right? If not sugar, I use honey, right? Oh, I love fruits. Fruits are healthy. They have vitamins. Doctor, what are you saying? That I drop fruits? No, I know they are sweet, but that is natural sugar, right? Oh, so your liver knows natural sugar. So your stomach knows you ate a fruit. Does it? Or you're the one who saw the fruit. In the stomach is a starch. In the blood is fructose. In the liver is sugars. Fructose. Oh, you love your brown ugali because it comes from, it's a natural one, brown ugali. But you think your liver knows colors. You think your stomach knows that was brown ugali. It knows starch. Convert it to glucose, absorb, send it to the liver. It's processed as glucose. Give him fats. Right? You think your body knows honey or sugarcane? Oh, sugarcane is natural sugar. Very natural. You think your body knows that this is ugali from Aposhome? Or this is brown chapati? Nowadays, brown chapati is sold very expensively. Why? Because it is considered healthy. Considered very healthy. Just the same way, honey. Honey, asali ni bei. It's natural sugar, so don't worry about it. Yeah. So don't believe the lie that fats are actually clogging your arteries. You've not been eating fats. How did you end up having a heart attack? So all technologies, all new research and technologies and medications are coming in to treat the failing heart. They are coming in to reduce the cholesterol in the blood. They are coming in to replace the heart that is ailing. Surgery is coming in to replace the heart that is failing. Even our specialists, the cardiologists, are just talking about techniques to actually fix the heart. Oh, angioplasty. Open up the blood vessels so that the blood flows. But Daktari, what caused the clogging of the blood vessels? Why don't we handle the cause instead of just putting tubes to open up the blood vessels? Can we open up all the blood vessels in the body, Daktari? Can we? So why don't we focus on the causes of this instead of just trying to give us new techniques? Because you went to UK to study and now you've come in with this new technology from UK. Now you want to exercise it on every patient. Daktari. And guys, have you realized that most of your patients, most of your family members who are elderly, a little bit, maybe 40 plus, right now they are being diagnosed with everybody. SLE, 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 SLE. Daktari. I come with back pain, that must be SLE. I come with the kidney problem, that is SLE. I come, SLE. What is this SLE? What is so new about this? Now I've come to 40. Now I have an autoimmune SLE. What is happening? Am I lying, guys? Yeah. Look at the diagnosis. You will see SLE. Question SLE. Even if they don't get diagnosed with SLE, but when they are being sent to the laboratory for questioning, they are questioning SLE. What is happening? That SLE just woke up the other day. Huh? Lupus. Hey. Anyway, allow me to market my merchandise. Health and Wellness Sport has a lot of things. We have mugs, we have branded t-shirts, we have hoods, we have sweatshirts, all those things that have our logo. Health and Wellness Sport logo. You can rock those things as you pass your message to everybody around you. So go there, get a water bottle for your office. Go there, get a mug for your coffee. Go there, get a hoodie for this weather. Go there, get a t-shirt or a sweatshirt. Just rock that and just enjoy it. All right? A lot of things. Go there and get your black coffee, roasted. The coffee beans just roasted and grinded, and you can enjoy your brewed coffee. Go there and take these things and enjoy them. Go there and take your fermented cabbage as you plan to make your own. Right? Go there and do these things. I mean, just enjoy these things. Go there and take that tallow as you start making your process of making your new tallow. Go there and get your tallow there. Beef tallow is there, sheep tallow is there, activated charcoal is there, mugs are there, water bottles are there, hoods are there, sweatshirts are there, t-shirts are there. Amazing work done by my team. You guys. If I still had identity problems, I say, what would I do without you guys? Hi, guys. Yeah. But so coffee is alright. Yes, somebody told you that coffee leaches out magnesium, but you eat avocados, you eat nuts, and you're taking coffee sugarless and black. The problem is the sugar in coffee. You people don't love coffee. You people love sugar that comes with the coffee. So you love the 6 teaspoons of sugar that you put in the coffee. When I tell you, can we have black coffee? You're like, yes, I love black coffee. And please, black and sugarless and honeyless. You see them trying to wanafinya macho. But they're trying to prove to me that, you know what, I love this coffee. This coffee is amazing. And then you resent me so badly. I'm like, but I bought you coffee. I am generous. I bought you coffee. I mean, but it was sugarless and very black. You mnafinya macho. Kumbe ni sukari mnapenda, si kahawa. So anyway, our physical consultations in Nairobi always happen the last week of the month and the first week of the month. So if you wish to book a consultation with us, you can do that whether physical in Nairobi or online. We do online consultations every single day. 0707074722. Send a WhatsApp message to that text, that number, and they will respond to you. When they respond to you, simply send what you really want. You know, so saying hi. Some of you text me HAE, hi. I'm like, hi. We are not here to chat. We are here to make sure that we change your life for the better. So 0707074722. That is our contact for anything. You can simply use WhatsApp. Don't call, don't text the normal text. You can text the normal text, but simply use WhatsApp. But don't call. So if you call and then they hang up, you don't get angry. Simply join a Friday show to fix your identity. Send a WhatsApp message. We have so much going on that if we decide to pick those calls, we will get in trouble. So simply send a WhatsApp text message on 0707074722 and they will respond to you. On that note, we are running our 3 months weight loss program starting the 15th of this month. That is also the contact that you actually use. So Kikeri has pinned it on TikTok. I hope I can pin it here on Facebook. 0707074722. A very easy number. Let me just try and pin it. Yes. So that's the number to use. You can use it. Of course, I'll advertise through posts, but you can actually do that as early as this. Every 15th of every month, we are running weight loss program. We alternate the 3 month program with the 2 month program. The 2 month program already kicked on. And then we have a 3 month program that is starting on the 15th. I always tell you, if you actually want more benefits from my programs, you can join the 3 month program because it's a slow one. The 2 months are an aggressive one, okay? Because we are actually hoping that we can actually help you win the battles in 2 months. But 3 months program, gradual one, and then benefits are there. You just get into it and grow into it. And by the time it's ending, you've totally become a very different person. So you can join in. Send a WhatsApp message through that platform. You'll be guided on how to book a slot for that 3-month weight loss program. It starts on the 15th of this month. All right, so welcome on board, and let's change you. Let's change your diets. Let's change your relationship with food. Let's change your working out schedules. Let's change how you relate with people in terms of identities. And let's change literally everything. We teach you nutrition. We teach you about very basic things on nutrition. We teach you about your relationship with food. We teach you about fasting. We teach you about spiritual aspect of life and all those things. So you can actually join that platform and see how it goes for you. However, let's continue with this. So I've told you that every single doctor or cardiologist or brain surgeon or whatever they are, all of them are focusing on the symptoms of the same problem. Our role here is to focus on the house of the demons. We don't focus on individual demons coming from one house. We want to destroy the house so that these demons disappear. What is so hard with us focusing on that house and destroying that house instead of focusing on demons, individual demons, and treating all these demons differently? So we have a medication for hypertension. We have medication for diabetes. We have medication for a stroke. We have medication for thinning blood. We have medication. But we just said the thickness of blood is actually dictated by how much sugars we are eating. So should we let you eat the sugars and then we give you aspirin to thin the blood? Does it make sense to you? We also add women contraceptives to protect them from giving birth, and then they end up having blood clots, and then we give them aspirin. We give you other medication like rivaroxaban. We give you other drugs, apixaban, very expensive medications to actually help you thin blood and prevent blood clots. But we still feed what actually causes blood clots. No wonder you take those medications for a lifetime. If you're on a statin, I can assure you, if you're on a statin, you can drop it and you'll never suffer anything. But you take that statin, you start losing memory. Today I just had a nurse coming in and telling me, hey, Daktari, you told me, because she came to me like 2 years ago. She tells me, I've been taking drugs for hypertension. I've seen you talking about hypertension. You see these nurses who come in with, they're skeptical. This one is a younger doctor. He cannot say anything. They want me to put on the spectacles, look at them, upper juu na ile kamba. And then I talk very slowly and in a respectable manner. Because I went to UK and I have all these PhD, CQT, PPC and whatever it is. So she comes to me and tells me, hey, Daktari, I saw your video on hypertension. It's very educative, very interesting. It was challenging, but it's a good video. So what should I do about hypertension? I'm like, but you saw the video. I know you are here. You can help. I'm like, okay. So I take her through hypertension stuff. And then she says, okay, I'll see what I can do. You'll see what you can do. All right. After 2 months, she comes to me. They've added her one more drug. And then she tells me, sasa hapa nitakuaje daktari? Hizi dawa zinaongezeka tuna pressure itoki. I'm like, but you're the one who is actually feeding blood pressure. We talked about this, so we can't keep on talking about it every single day. Now she wants me to be, okay, she plays the victim. Unajua huwezi elewa pressure, wewe huwezi elewa. Do you have somebody who has suffered blood pressure? I'm like, hey, no, please. Reserve your victimhood. Let's handle what is. Do you want the truth or do you want us to actually mask the symptoms? You are masking the symptoms. So then she disappeared. Came back a month ago. She told me she has been put on a statin. She's taking atorvastatin 40 milligrams every evening. And I told her one thing. I told her, when you saw my video, I introduced you to my platform. I talked to you about these things. You did not pay attention. Now you have 3 medications. The 2 for blood pressure, and then you have now 1 for cholesterol, atorvastatin. High dose, not even 20 milligrams. And now she tells me, by the way, you know what you told me was right. Because I just realized every time I leave my car keys and I'm always looking for that car key. I even call my children because I think they are stealing my car. And then they tell me, but you put your key here. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I have to apologize. Poleni, I didn't mean to hurt you guys. I'm sorry. It's my car, but I just don't want you to mess up. So she's telling me, so now I'm losing memory, Daktari. So you are right. I'm like, no, I'm not right. You are right because you're the one who is taking medication. So you are right, you're losing memory. It's not me who is right. You are right because you're the one who is losing memory. It's not me. And and also in the bedroom I can really sense that the energy is not the same. I'm like, okay. And then she's asking me, could it be because of age or something? Is age catching up? As women, as we age, I think the dryness brings. So is it that I'm aging? I'm like, you have all the answers. So the question tonight is, where do you think your sex hormones are coming from? So that was the question during the day answer. Hey, so where do you think sex hormones come from? Alienda KMTC sijui. Alienda KMTC sijui mwaka gani. Amesahau cholesterol is actually the mother of sex hormones. He's like, the body makes it. I'm like, no. What is the raw material of making these sex hormones? Where do you think they come from? I tell her, you have a smartphone, just check it. Where do they come from? Oh, it's a steroid hormone. Oh, okay. So it's cholesterol. I'm like, but see, I have so much cholesterol, so this drug is going to reduce it to a normal level. I'm just like, I am tired. We'll see you again. All right? See you again when you'll be at 80 milligrams. So you can imagine the ignorance in the health systems. How about the general public? The ignorance is so weird. So weird. So if they are using this medication themselves, how do you expect them to change your life? How somebody who is supposed to administer drugs to a patient and then give them possible adequate advice is taking these statins, losing memory but still blames aging, losing sex drive and hormones but still blames aging. She has already seen 2 medications being added on, but she's still blaming aging, and hypertension is in genes and all that. And then she gets a heart attack, and then she gets this, and then now we have to get into that WhatsApp group and pretend, like the hospital, oh guys, she was the best nurse, she was so good at her job. Hey, imagine she has suffered a stroke. Let's send her something. I can assure you, in that WhatsApp group, we don't come there because we want to be there. We come there because of guilt. That, she knew me, let me just send 1,000. Let me just send 2,000, maybe 5,000 so that I clear the guilt. I'm not doing it because I want to do it for you. You think I want to send 5,000 to you to heal something that you're actually feeding, given that I've actually talked to you about it? No way, no way. I'll do it out of guilt. And now because we're working on our identities, there's no guilt. So I'll simply see it and pass. What next? And pass. And then I wait for you to recover and come and tell me, sorry, but I didn't see you kichanga. Yes, I didn't do that. Because that money was reinvested somewhere else. So this hypothesis of cholesterol and heart diseases was actually started by this gentleman called Ansel Keys. Ansel Keys, he's actually called Keys, Vifungu. Shafi? Eh? Shafi? Ansel Keys, this is a gentleman who started he proposed this hypothesis. Trust me, up to now, this was done in the 1950s. This guy lived from, I think, 1904 to 2004. Almost 100 years plus. And this guy comes in and says, cholesterol is actually responsible for blocking arteries and causing heart diseases. Hypothesis. It is a hypothesis. Up to now, there's no proof. And then out of that hypothesis, this guy pushes the American Heart Association, because this is an association that's actually so compromised, pushes them to actually approve that cholesterol is the problem. High fat diet is actually the problem in heart diseases. And they pushed it blindly because from the 1950s, nobody had so much ideas about heart disease. So this guy comes in and does that, gives an hypothesis, and then relates to 7 countries. So he did a research in a small percentage of people in 7 countries. And comes out and says, you know what, 7 countries have actually approved that high fat diet is the cause of heart diseases. But then the question was, hey, sir, industrial revolution was actually starting in this moment in time. A lot of foods that are coming from the industries are being consumed. A lot of products coming from the industries were being consumed. And after that, we had a spike in heart diseases. What do you say about that? No. A high fat diet. It's not a high fat diet. And up to now, no one has ever disapproved that. But doctors will always follow this principle. And then, of course, pharmacists get into a class. They study these pharmaceutical chemistry. They study all these medicinal chemistry things, the structure-activity relationships. Very difficult units because they had to do it that way. They had to make it very difficult so that it can actually make sense to the average person. That's why they pick those who you think are the brightest so that they can actually come and condition you. Some of your children are just killing you with those medications. And you call them doctors. My doctor, son. They are killing you. I was killing my parents too with most medications. Hello? So it's an hypothesis. It's called a diet heart hypothesis. 1950. How many research have we done on these things and we still stick to the 1950 stuff? The same way in the medical syllabus. So much has been pumped in, a lot of new versions of the same things. So imagine in 2025, we are still treating diabetes the same way we did in 1970, 1980. The medical syllabus is the same, even though there's so much science coming in new. The medical syllabus is always the same. That's why salt has always been a problem. From 1980 up to now, salt has always been a problem. But the disease is still going up, even with the reduction in consumption of salt. Heart attacks are still going up, even with low cholesterol levels. Even people who are on statins are still getting heart attacks. So we still blame cholesterol. Why though? Why? We must open our heads up. We need to actually become very vigilant and ask questions. Sometimes if you ask your doctor these questions, he'll become so angry at you. They'll become so angry at you and they will even chase you out of that consultation room. They say, wewe ukikufa heart attack shauri yako. Mimi nishanawa mkono. When they say that, that's how they sell you fear. And this system survives on selling fear. They sell fear. When they sell fear successfully, statins will sell. When they tell you a heart attack is because of high cholesterol, you're always looking for a way to lower cholesterol. But you will never look for a way to change where the cholesterol is coming from. Cholesterol comes from the liver. And the liver cannot make something that will kill you. It can't. Eat those fats. Eat those saturated fats. Statins have sold. The amount of $1 trillion that have been made by pharmaceutical companies for selling statins. Not only the sales of statins, they will sell you the statins, and now the side effects of statins are the biggest business. Lose memory. How do we handle dementia? A lot of problems. Get low hormones. How do we give you? We will give you other contraceptives to balance the hormones. Get infertile as a woman. Wait until you see an infertile human being an industry on her own. Give her all this overcare plus. Add her pregnant care. Add her iron supplements. Add her other drugs for memory. Add her for the men, always on Viagra, because this is messing them up. Testosterone levels are going down, and now older men have to inject themselves with testosterone. You see even bodybuilders have to inject themselves with testosterone. Instead of eating high-fat diets to actually boost their testosterone, they have to go and inject themselves. There's now another one who is actually telling you people to actually use, because he's actually luring you into that. Very indirectly. He tells you, these are a cow's dewormer. So you can use it. It's actually good. So I'm using this cow dewormer. Whatever he doesn't tell you is obese. Bodybuilding is a sport. Healthy life or healthy living is not a sport. Don't treat your life as a sport. It's not a sport. Eat clean, fast, sleep, rehydrate, exercise. Don't exercise with the intention of becoming a bodybuilder. That's a sport. Once they retire, you see how those wrestlers look now. Have you seen John Cena of late? You guys, have you seen what is happening to The Rock after being diagnosed with a heart attack? Have you seen those people? These are the people we admire. You look at The Rock, you're like, hey, this guy has traps. This guy, hey, I want to be like him. You go to the gym 1 year, you've lifted all those dumbbells, nothing is happening. You're wondering, kwani Rock akona jeans gani easy? Then boom, heart attack. Hey, the next minute he has lost so much weight. You're like, kwani, I thought we were supposed to be big. So we were told we eat 8 meals a day to grow muscle so that muscles burns fat. Now they have retired in the sport and they are realizing they're having heart attacks. Now they're telling us, you know what? I'm just doing this for health. And I'm like, hey. Do you have to get a heart attack so that you tell us? Wow. Bodybuilding is a sport. Let it be a sport. Eat clean, rest, work out, rehydrate, enjoy the sun. Okay? So there are so many books that actually talk about cholesterol and how it is actually demonized in heart attacks, yet it's not. Number 1, put your heart where your mouth is, Natasha Campbell. Yeah, I was forgetting that name, Natasha. Number 2, of course, The Great Cholesterol Con. Who has never read that book, The Great Cholesterol Con, by Malcolm Kendrick? Another one. So I'm telling you this book so that you become educated. Go and read. Get the knowledge. Don't hold on to the knowledge. Hold on to the information. Release the knowledge. Number 3, The Great Cholesterol Myth, John Bowden. Number 4, there's another one called Lipid Lunacy. You should read that book. Lipid Lunacy, written by multiple authors. So imagine multiple authors sat down and agreed that, you know what, these are lunars. Lipid Lunacy, let it go. Forget about it. So if you gotten nothing from this life, at least you know the causes of atherosclerosis, narrowing of blood vessels. At least you know that the heart is not the problem, the vessels are the problem. So fix the vessels. And the vessels are destroyed by multiple things. Number one is man-made chemicals. Most of the things that destroys our system is man-made. Cholesterol is not man-made. But drugs for cholesterol are actually man-made. So they lower cholesterol. Who will fix the inflammation in blood vessels? Problems. Man-made problems. Chemicals that we get in these products like shampoos, like body lotions and soaps, the parabens and the phthalates. I've talked about this before. Household cleaning agents like the liquid detergents that have triclosan. All those are destroying the integrity of the blood vessel wall. The non-stick pans that come with Teflon, throw them away. We have pollutants, environmental pollutants and industrial chemicals and agricultural products like GMO, like the fertilizers, the glyphosates that come with the pesticides, the herbicides. When we were growing up, we used to use ash as a pesticide. Nowadays, there's a commercial pesticide somewhere. The toothpaste that we use nowadays. And if you're wise, you will see. Even the company that makes toothpaste is actually making toothpaste that has salt, toothpaste that has activated charcoal. Do you think they are stupid? Do you think they're stupid? They're not. So you can actually now start seeing the lie. How then have they told us that this product, the fluoride has been so good, and now all of a sudden they're telling us, oh, you know our product has salt, you know our product has activated charcoal, you know it's low in fluoride, you know it's fluoride free. Why? Open your head. Open your head. And if you see this saga that is happening at the coast where they've captured unhealthy cooking oil, ignore and run out of that lie. They have not captured anything. It's just that deal that went wrong. Regulatory bodies are not here to protect you. No, they are not here to protect you. They are not. They will lie to you that sugar has mercury, only to realize that shem-cell sugar is in the markets. They lie to you that this is a bad cooking oil. Tomorrow it's approved. They are now saying that this one is a good one, but it's the same seed oil. So if there are good people, they will not talk about seed oils. There will be no seed oil. Or if there will be seed oils in the market, they will be very expensive. And they will impose a lot of taxes on the companies that are actually making seed oils. But they can't. They can't, because these companies are the ones that are actually sponsoring those guidelines. The other day I saw the United States, Trump saying that they're going to include nutrition in the medical syllabus. I was not excited at all. I saw people getting excited. I was not excited because I was thinking, which nutrition are they introducing? Is it the same mainstream nutrition that is sponsored by the food industries? So all of you were excited, hey, there's nutrition coming in. Now the medics will know nutrition. They know nutrition. They do. But they know mainstream nutrition that is sponsored by the food industries. So don't expect any nutrition to come in to change your life. No, it can't. It can't. They know what they are doing. They are sponsored. So they know what they are doing. So what you need to do, you need to understand the basics, work on yourself. Whatever they say should be none of your business. Just focus on you, become better and do better. You can. You can. Our health system is deep in the syllabus. Getting most of them to understand is not easy. It's never easy, and it shall never get easier. It is just that I don't want chaos. There is a certain specialist at Upper Hill Medical who talks the way you are talking, in a manner that pleases God. An ops guy I've laughed out loud. They are hidden in Upper Hill. They are hidden in, what do we call it? Fortis, just near Kenyatta National Hospital. And they're the same people who work in KNH, right? So they have the... They lie to you in KNH because you cannot afford that healthcare, and then what is wrong with this one? So they lie to you in KNH because they know you cannot afford it, then they refer you to their clinics, then you go there and then you're like, ay. Hey, daktari. Ay, wewe. Alright, so we're talking about pollutants and environmental and agricultural chemicals like GMOs, herbicides, pesticides, fertilizers, free radicals coming in from automobiles, cigarette smoking, bang and shisha. Kenyans with shisha and bang. Processed foods that have trans fats, that have seed oils, that have refined sugars. Please, there's no food coming from an industry. Anything coming from an industry is a product, except ghee. or even butter, the saturated fats that have only one ingredient, butter and moisture. So the lesser the ingredients, the better. Zero preservative. Higher. Let's continue. Another one is, of course, cigarette smoking plays 98% of roles in, actually plays a role in 98% of health conditions. Cigarette smoking, you cannot afford that. Higher. Low salt intake destroys your blood vessel integrity. So as much as you want to avoid the salt, because salt in a pandisha pressure, you are actually causing yourself more problems. Higher. Poor gut health, gut dysbiosis. Realize this. There is no way you're going to have better functioning blood vessels or a better functioning heart with a messed up gut. They don't go hand in hand. No way. You start by fixing the gut. The heart is secondary to that. You have a failed heart because of a messed up gut. Because you're eating crap. You are what you eat. So fix that gut. Nutritional deficiencies, mineral deficiencies, reduced ability of the blood vessels to repair themselves is coming from a messed up gut. You cannot digest, you cannot absorb adequate and optimal minerals that will be used and nutrition that will be used to fix the problems. You cannot even absorb cholesterol from the diets, even if it's 15% that coming from the diets. Inflammation. All right? Good. That is poor gut health. We have infections. And infections are coming in as a result of what? Low immunity, which is sugar problems. But all of us, even if you're healthy, you can actually get an infection. You can get a disease. You can actually contract a disease, apart from the chronic conditions. So most recurrent infections that can actually expose you to a problem with the integrity of blood vessels. And then, of course, alcohol and medications. Medication statins being part of them. NSAIDs being there. Steroids being there. All right? So if you avoid these things, if you actually limit, our role is not to actually run away from them completely. Our role is to limit the exposure. And then our role is to fix the gut, fix the liver, so that the liver and our gut does the rest for us. Realize the gut is your first immunity, the liver is another immunity. So if you have a fixed liver, very minimal things, you can easily avoid them. You can actually do away with them naturally because the liver will do that. But imagine you have a fatty liver, you have a messed up gut. So what is going to protect you? The liver is supposed to protect you. So protect it so that it protects you. All right? Yes. And how do you protect the liver? And how do you fix the gut? And then generally, how do you fix the blood vessels? Number one, every organ in the system requires vitamin D. Vitamin D comes from cholesterol. And then you convert cholesterol to vitamin D by exposing yourself to the sun. So therefore, go out and enjoy the sun. Go out and enjoy the sun. Stop using sunscreens. Stop using use sunglasses. Stop sitting in an office that has an AC from morning to morning, Monday to Monday. Take time to yourself. Go connect with nature. Enjoy the sun. Even when you're doing a walk, go and enjoy the sun. Number two, water and salt. Water is a natural blood thinner. Water. And you cannot get water into the cells without salt. So you need salt. That's why we say in every glass of water, add a pinch of salt. You're going to make sure that the integrity of the blood vessel is maintained. You're going to thin your blood so that it doesn't clog. You see that? You don't form the clots. So increase water and salt intake. Add salt to your food. Cook your food with salt. Salt is salt and it's sodium chloride regardless of if it's raw or cooked. So eat salt whether raw or cooked. Number three, keep eating saturated fats. They are very healthy. Animal fats, tallow, sweat, lard. Coconut oil is also part of this. Olive oil is a good one here, but it's not saturated, it's unsaturated. But olive oil, cold pressed, without heating it, just use it for top dressing. Perfect one. Number increase oxygen, number 4, right? I think so, yeah. Increase oxygen to your tissues. There are ways to increase oxygen to your tissues. We talked about how to dilate blood vessels in the other life, the previous life, right? We said nitric oxide is very important in dilating blood vessels. And we said you get nitric oxide by breathing deeply. Inhale deeply and then exhale slowly. But inhale through the nose. And then take about 8 to 10 seconds to exhale completely. So that you balance the carbon dioxide and oxygen. And CO2 is going to help you send oxygen into the cells. And then when you're breathing deeply, or sometimes even humming to a song as your mouth is closed, you're vibrating the sinuses. When you vibrate the sinuses, you produce nitric oxide. When you heal inflammation in the blood vessel and the endothelial cells, you produce enough nitric oxide to dilate blood vessels so that you send glucose, oxygen, nutrition to the heart muscles. And these endothelial cells, we said, another role of endothelial cells is to produce nitric oxide. NO gas that dilates blood vessels. So the more you consume inflammatory foods, the more you expose yourself to chemicals, smoking and all that, the more you destroy your ability to produce enough nitric oxide that is supposed to dilate blood vessels. So you end up having hypertension, you end up having limited oxygen, nutrition and blood flow towards tissues. Brain dies, stroke. Heart dies, heart attack. Kidney dies, kidney failure. Save those things. Simple, natural things. And you've realized, I'm not mentioning drugs anyway. The sun is free. Water is free. Salt is almost free. Oxygen is free. Even CO2 is free. Nitric oxide is free. You make it. Cholesterol is free, which means vitamin D is free. Sleep is free. But how many women are struggling with sleep because of hormonal imbalance, low cholesterol levels? And they think it's because of menopause, hot flashes, issues. So sleep is also part of that. Take about 5 to 8 hours to allow the body to heal. All right, and repair. Another one, which is basically now we can now start talking about eating. But again, before we talk about eating, which is now the money, let's talk about toxins. So limit exposure to toxins. I'm not saying avoid toxins. You can't, it's difficult, but limit exposure. So microplastics, the soft plastics, tampons, please just use a normal pad. Body lotions, use coconut oil or petroleum jelly, which is non-scented. For the soap, use non-scented soaps and read the ingredients. If you see phthalates and parabens, throw it away. For the toothpaste, use salt. You see that? Cigarettes, drop cigarette smoking, drop alcohol. Refined foods should never be in your diet. Restaurant foods, stay away from them. That is still free. Another free one, fasting. Make sure if you eat, you must take a gap between your meals. Thank you so much, Anne Masharia. You must take a gap. 8 hours between a meal to allow your gut to digest, absorb, clean up, rest, and then you bring in new food. That will take you to 2 meals a day. Free. Fasting, free. But they'll tell you all the free things. You should never take them, but go for those that are expensive because you have been convinced that if something is expensive, it is healthy. Just because it's expensive, it's not healthy, doesn't mean it's healthy. You'll meet some of these people walking in the supermarkets at the yellow center. You see the yellow center where we have all the seed oils. You're basically looking for the one that is more clear and the one is very expensive. Because this one is the healthy one. This is for the rich. For the mid class, they're looking for the one that has an offer and the one that is very available. You just jump on it as long as it suits your pocket. Wewe, wewe, chunga sana. Haya, exercise. You can actually exercise for free. A walk is free. A run, morning run is free. You can get yourself paying only 200 shillings to go to a nature park or to go to a hike. 200 shillings, just get into that reserve and go for a walk. I think it's about 300 shillings to get into Ngong Hills, right? A free one, go walk to the Ngong Hills, but you don't want to do that, right? And how much will it cost you just doing a long walk in the evening, 2 days or 3 days in a week? How much is it? How much are house workouts? Just a wall squat, just jumping jacks, a push-up, a pull-up. How much are they? So we've talked about exercise, free. Fasting, free. Sleep, free. Oxygen or breathing, free. Tallow, which is the saturated fat, is almost free. Beef fat, almost free. People still fear cholesterol. So go to the butcher and pick it. 200 shillings, you have so much cholesterol in form of tallow. Right? Water and salt. Salt is almost free. Water is free. But in town centers, we buy water. But it's almost free, right? And then the sun, free. So out of all these things, imagine free therapy. Now, the only thing that is actually going to cost you a little bit here is the diet. Buying maybe the saturated fats or ghee. Meats. But you see, it's not expensive because you've substituted. You've dropped all the unhealthy fats, bought the healthy fats. You've dropped sugar, bought maybe sweet potatoes and all that. You've dropped all the rice and the wheat, flour and all these things, the crappy things, that the juices and the sodas. You have bought yourself what? Meat, or the liver, or fish, or chicken, kienyeji chicken, or eggs in plenty, and green leafy vegetables. And then go and connect with nature. Everywhere there's a water body, enjoy. Everywhere there's a hill, go and sit on those hills, on those stones. Walk barefoot. Hug that tree. Even if it rains, the better. Walk into that rain. Rain does not cause you pneumonia. Pneumonia is coming because you have a weak immune system. What about milking jelly ng'ombe as a body oil? Please use it. It's petroleum jelly. It's non-scented. So you tell me, as we finish this, are you unable to actually prevent a heart disease or a heart attack of any type? Because even if it's the arrhythmias, which you say conduction is a problem, nervous conduction and electrical conduction, nerve problems is a sugar problem. That's why we have peripheral neuropathy, nerves being destroyed by diabetes. Nerve problems are sugar problems, unless it's congenital, unless it's physical trauma. So you tell me, for free, if I've not taught you how to prevent a heart attack, and even if you have one, and you are trying to actually prevent the occurrence of another one, have I not taught you that? Have I not taught you that? Please, if I've taught you something today, just raise your hand and say, Daktari, asante, hii tumemalizana nayo. Heart disease, tupatane next year. Heart disease, see you next year. And because we stay present, we don't have any heart disease now. You can never suffer from heart disease if you actually follow what I say. That you have to eat clean, that you have to fast, that you have to exercise to improve blood flow, that you have to enjoy the sun, that you have to sleep, that you have to ease up on stress levels, because again, stress is another one that actually destroys your blood vessels. So you tell me that I have not taught you these things. Tell me. And be bold, be very bold, and come out and say, Daktari, you did not teach us about heart attack, but I've taught you about diets, right? Taught you about lifestyle. My role is to make sure you are educated. My role is to make sure you are informed so that the fear goes. And when fear goes, you become better. Every single day you drop the fear, you become better. And trust me, you are a better doctor than we are. Why? Because the body speaks to you. So you're actually the one who actually listens to the body. We listen to you telling us the symptoms of your body. So we rely on your symptoms to just predict what you're suffering from. But your body speaks to you every single time. There is nobody who has had a stroke out of nowhere. There's always a warning sign. They will start losing breath, they start having severe headaches and all that, and then a stroke comes in. There's nobody who has had a heart attack without the chest pains. They know it. So the truth is, the body warns us because the body knows that it's suffering. The body heals itself. But when it's unable, it understands. So it tells you, hey, please, you're doing the wrong things. But the problem is, when it tells you you're doing the wrong things, you will continue doing the wrong things, and it's not your fault. It's the fault of the system. They will allow you to continue doing the same things, but give you a medication to fix the symptoms. Then the chest pain disappears. But the condition is still the same. The nerve problem disappears, but the diet is still the same. The mini stroke you recover from a mini stroke, but the foods are still the same. The seed oils are still there. And then they tell you moderate. You know, you can take 2 bottles of wine, 2 bottles of beer every day. That's very minimal. Moderate, 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 moderate. Everything in moderation. When you hear somebody telling you everything in moderation, use the other exit. And then pray that you never meet this person anywhere. If you do, please give them a very good slap, so that they lose some 2 teeth and they'll never preach that gospel to you. Moderation. Anyway, more salt may increase sodium levels, which is also another issue. This is Lydia 1 Tovoko. Lydia 1 Tovoko is saying more salt has or may increase sodium levels, which is also another issue. Can we all agree that can we respond to in unison? Can we respond to Lydia? Because Lydia might have come here very late. Lydia is just getting to see my video for the first time, and of course the need inside her has told her, you know what, you need to respond and tell this guy salt is a problem. And now, even better, the doctor told her that cooked salt is better than raw salt, because it is cooked. I mean, it's cooked. When it's cooked, it's better than raw salt. And then she's saying she's saying we'll have excess salt in the system because we've taken salt. Hey, Lydia. Hey, Lydia. Lydia, let me ask you a question. What is the function of your kidneys? Please just mention 2 or 3 functions of the kidneys. Also, as you do that, mention 1 function of your sweat glands. Just those two answers. I would actually want you to answer that because it's very important for us. You know, we don't know. We didn't know salt causes problems. We didn't know sodium chloride can actually cause us problems. Yeah? So we want to know from you, Lydia, what is the function of the kidneys? Yeah? What is what is the function of the kidneys? And when was the last time you took excess salt in food? Tell me, hey, can even your taste buds allow you to take excess salt in food? When was the last time you took excess salt in food? So, Lydia, I'm still waiting for you to tell me what are the functions of the kidneys. Somebody is actually helping you. Kidneys activate vitamin D. Kidneys help you to filter toxins. Kidneys help you to regulate blood pressure. Kidneys help you to balance water. Kidneys help you to balance acid base. When you are acidic, it brings you the bicarbonates you get into. It balances the acidic media in the system. Tell us, Lydia, what is the last function of the kidneys then? Anyway, for those of you who don't know and those of you who are still in the dark like Lydia, allow me to tell you this. It is the role of the kidneys to clear excess electrolytes, sodium and chloride being part of that. So the kidneys clear excess salts from the system. Your tear glands, your salivary glands, your skin basically sweating, the sweat glands, their role is to actually get rid of excess salt. So there's no way you'll have excess salt in the system with functional kidneys. But what kills the kidneys? That's what Lydia does not know. Sugar kills the kidneys. Now you are unable to deal with salt. So you blame salt for what kidneys caused you. Somebody who has been my student is here saying a wet bed. Acronym, a wet bed, help her. Thank you so much, Ward Abeno. A wet bed is that simple. And I wish angeenda tu YouTube atafute hiyo a wet bed. Angepata kila kitu. A wet bed. Lydia, function of the kidneys, a wet bed. And one of the E's is electrolyte balance. Sodium and chloride are electrolytes. So there's no way you'll have excess salt. But there's a way, and there's every way you can have excess sugar in the system. You can. If any case, the reason why you're blaming salt is because you already have excess sugar in the system. And you allow the health system to lie to you. So never blame salt for what sugar cost you. We move. We move. Let me check out this. Some of these things, somebody pinned something here. Kindly, is it advisable to do all that you have mentioned when pregnant? Yes. I've mentioned this multiple times. A pregnant woman is not a unique woman, is not a special population. A pregnant woman is not a weak person. So don't allow the system to lie to you. A pregnant woman can eat 2 meals a day. A pregnant woman can still consume high saturated fat because the brain of the child depends on cholesterol. A pregnant woman can do every single thing, basically eating clean, fasting, the 2 meals a day and 1 meal a day sometimes. A pregnant woman can actually enjoy fatty meats and all that. Everything we talk about here is for everybody. It's not for pregnant women or for people who are not pregnant. It's for everybody who intends to actually lead a healthy life. If you're pregnant, you intend to get, first of all, get pregnant, maintain the pregnant in a healthy way, get pregnant, give birth naturally, and then provide breast milk for the baby for all that time. So yes, it's very good for you. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Do lemons and tomatoes have fructose, and are they healthy to consume? I've said tomatoes are good. You can actually use tomatoes because of the lycopene. So you can use tomatoes, but make sure they're not GMO. You can only know that when you start scanning the markets, right? And not going to the supermarket to buy foods. Number 2, lemon and lemon juice has fructose. Avoid it. The lemon peels are the richest in vitamin C, and they're also rich in bioflavonoids and antihistamine. So simply take the lemon peel, soak in warm water, and then give it about 10 minutes and drink that water. That's the best source of vitamin C. Vitamin C is also found in fermented cabbages and all that, and the green leafy vegetables. So avoid that, okay? So Daktari, angina is reversible, of course. Angina is a symptom of blood vessel problems. So thank you so much, all of you, for being here. It's amazing just doing a show on TikTok, on Facebook, and on YouTube. I am so excited. I'm glad that this one became the best. So trust me, every show we do is the best. Every show we do is the best. Why? Because we expose issues, the evil side of the health systems. We also help you to understand diseases. And when you understand a disease, it is easy for you to actually reverse or to walk out of that slavery of medication. So thank you so much for being an amazing audience. Remember to support our platform. Join my Telegram platform, Health and Wellness Spot. On Friday, we have another show. And that show is not on this platform. It's on Identity. It's called Identity Fridays. It's on 𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗥𝗧 platform. So you can actually go there, watch some of the content that we put there, enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel. 𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗥𝗧 is a young channel. Just subscribe and see what happens. And sit here back on Friday, if God gives us the grace, so we can learn something new. So thank you for being part of us. Thank you for the questions. If I didn't answer your question, there's always a way, and I will answer them. Of course, I will still do that. But my Telegram channel is a mini library. Go there and just learn something. All right. So thank you so much for being here. If you want to book an online consultation or a physical consultation with us, the number is there: 0707 07 47 22. You can also use the same contact to book for the weight loss program that starts on the 15th, 3 months weight loss program. Also, you can support our platforms by buying our merchandise, the hoods, the t-shirts, the sweatshirts, the water mugs, the coffee mugs, right? So water mugs, coffee mugs, fermented cabbages, coffee, activated charcoal, beef tallow, and sheep tallow. All of them are available at Imenti House. The gentleman is called Brian Omwenga, and these contact us on all my social media platforms. So Brian Omwenga is there, Imenti House, the entrance opposite to Beba stores. You go to the second floor, shop number 60. You'll find that gentleman there. He will serve you right. So thank you so much for being an amazing audience. I wish you well. We'll see you on Friday if God gives us the grace. And on this platform, another live will come on Monday. But throughout the week, we always post videos. You can simply enjoy that content. Subscribe to the channel. If you're on TikTok, follow me. And let's see how it goes. So thank you so much and have a good night, or a good morning, or a good afternoon, depending on where you are. Bye.